Welcome back, punters. 2023, and the team is reassembled. John Walter, good morning. Good afternoon, I should say. And Jason Fuzzy as a party down the bottom there. How you going, mate?
Good, boys. How you going? Good to see you. Good to see your smiling face. You're up and about. You're all tanned, PD. You're over your hangover from the Magic Millions. Absolutely tore the Gold Coast apart. You did, the big fella.
He's tanned. I've only just worked that one out. He is tanned.
Yeah, well, the beach twice
Very
a day.
Tanned. That's a Costa Harbour glow, you call that.
That's what you call it.
Mankini.
I've got the dungeon glow.
Okay, let's talk about Randwick first of all. Get right into it. First race we're doing is the Light Finger Stakes, race 7 for the fillies, and obviously got a short price favourite here with In Secret around the 4 to 5 mark.
This track, right? So we copped 400 mil of rain yesterday, they said, but we're still a 5, and they're hoping for an upgrade. They haven't changed it from that, have they?
No, not that I believe so. Or have they?
Well, from what they said, like I was just listening to the boys talking on their Australian Turf Club update yesterday, like they copped 27 mil or something, but hadn't only put bugger all water on it, so it actually seemed like it worked out pretty well. So they're still showing soft 5.38, clear weather 28. I think it's 30 tomorrow. So
it's a soft 5. It'll be a 4 tomorrow. It's hot in Sydney.
Yeah,
hot as.
Well, it'll stop us getting any more rain or water on it, hopefully. So that's all we probably hope for anyway.
So we'll have a dead track. Sorry, a good dead.
A good to dead. Yeah, a good to dead.
No, a good dead, not a bad dead.
Yeah. All right, so I'll read this market out, even though that we don't no longer read it out on behalf of anyone. So it's a Light Finger Stakes, and it is In Secret, $1.80. Sunshine in Paris, holy cow, into $4.60. North Star Lass $6.50, Fireburn $9.50, She's a Belter $9.50, $21 the rest, which includes Madame Pomeroy, Revolutionary Miss, Wolverine a lot to actually it's also worth mentioning down the bottom. Wolverine 41, a lot more love 41, Cinderella Days, nice horse 41, Reseda 61, 101 Byron Bell.
Yeah, I think they're still betting around 9 to 2, 5 to 1 Ladbrokes, I think. The
better price around, yep.
Yeah. It's a bit short there. Look, I won't be betting in the race, but obviously the favourite's the one to beat. Looks a logical top pick to me. Some chances She's a Belter, Fireburn, and I suppose a roughie that I wanted to mention in the race outside Sunshine in Paris, who has got a lot of ability, but I do think it's pretty short now. A roughie in the race that might be worth considering is Cinderella Days. I thought at around the 40 to 1 mark. I thought that might be a touch longer than it should be. Any thoughts, John?
Yeah, I'm heavily in the Sunshine in Paris just when it was bigger price, and then it was still a big price, and it's probably getting into close to probably what it should be, I guess. Gate 1, how that fence plays, I think it should be fine, especially for a horse like this. Hopefully it just gets them spreading out a bit more, that 5, rather than sort of staying towards the inside a bit more, and it may actually suit this horse. Yeah, I just think it's the horse that's only horse you could back to beat In Secret with confidence, as in it's just a horse that's got unlimited upside that no one knows sort of where it's going to get to. And same boat as you. I thought Cinderella Days is a very nice horse, especially sort of going the exotics at that sort of price. And even a lot more love is a horse that's more likely to be revved up for a race like this and ready to go than others that are probably, this is a stepping stone to their grand final. So I thought they were the two exotics, roughy sort of horses, and In Secret's very obvious, draws perfect, no knock on it. But yeah, I'm a big Sunshine in Paris fan.
Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, look, I mean, these two races, you've got 2 4 to 5 chances, blue, bigger targets in mind. They've both got, if you back them both, they've both got to win to make a profit. Look, she can win, of course. I just thought that the ones for me, North Star Lass has trialled really well. 2 trials, the second one 1,000 metres. I think she's really revved up for a race here. Timmy on gate 2. There's a horse in this though at $41, not the one Paul called out, called A Lot More Love. I absolutely love this filly. If you just watch how she extends at the end of her races, I think she's got a lot of talent. I think she'll be winning group races. I'm not sure if this is the one. She's got 13, so she's going to go to last, and will there be enough pace on? If you look at her trial, the last 100 metres of it, it was just absolutely extraordinary. Love how she extends. Really one to follow, and I'm going to have a little interest on her, but be following her throughout the autumn.
We found the same roughies. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And that could be,
anyway.
I think that's probably the best way to play the race, to be honest.
Look, I can't find a bet in Sydney at all tomorrow, so that's how I see it. But regards to that, we've got the race to cover, so we'll move on to the Apollo Stakes over 1400 at weight for age. John, give us some prices.
I'm going north to south this time. Animo $1.70, $80 looks like it's the best around. I'll try and be a better shopper here. Fangirl and El Bogadon around the $8.50 mark. Then Mwanga 11, out to the middle teens of Hinged and Law of Indices around the $15 mark, and Ice Bath, and then it's like 33s of the rest. So that they seem like the main players here.
John, can you give us any insight into T. Clark on a Waller horse here? I was really jumped off the page at me.
I don't want to get anyone in any trouble, but I do know that he's going to inquire whether they would like the horse to race more forward if possible. I know the horse is a bit of a funny beginner, but and Tim hasn't had a lot to do with it, obviously. Like, he's not a jockey that rides work or rides a lot for Waller. I think he did the gallop for it last Saturday in between races, and I think the feedback was pretty good that he gave the stable for that. And it's just a matter of instructions, because this sort of stable, they give clear instructions, so it won't be up to Tim whether he can bounce it out or not. And I'm not expecting him to sort of lead and run him along or do anything crazy. But if the horse can race more forward, I think it stands out like dog's balls to me that it's just got so much class on its side, and it's obviously running the Cox Plate was incredible. Trials have been fine, ridden off speed in slow run, fast zip tone trials. And if it can get near Animo in the run, I'd expect it to give it a big race. That was my summary for the race too. I've got nothing else to add. They're the only two horses I can back.
Look, I tipped Old Bodygon in a Cox Plate on here. I think it's got enormous talent. Just Waller, is he thinking Queen Elizabeth and what's he want to do? But also, I probably have a small investment on it. And Fangirl, if you take out her wet track runs, she's just a great horse. And first up in what was that? Not the Apollo, maybe the Winx in the spring. Is that what they call it? She was a length or so off Animo, and she was back to last. So from 60, I think she's been given 2 trials and a 1,000-metre trial for this. For me, it stinks of trying to get that win first up for her. Maybe she could be the blowout as well, but I'd love to see Animo win and just keep rolling. It's just a star.
Only 2 hopes for me. Favourite, the obvious top pick. El Bogadon, clear second pick. I think it should be shorter and closer in the price to Animo. And sort of echo the comments that John suggested. If this horse is ready, it can give Animo a fright for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Stephen home late. But I suppose just in terms of map advantage for the favourite, you've got to be with it. But at around the 15-2 mark, it does seem like the gap's too big for me. But I won't be betting.
We found the same horses in both races, like we never left.
I doubt we will in Melbourne somehow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we won't.
I'm ready to launch.
Okay, speaking of Melbourne, let's get into the Hillside Race 2, which is obviously the autumn stakes for 3-year-olds. John, can you give us a bit of a mark?
Gee, there's some crazy differences in these markets, which is not what you see. Pericles, Amenable, Calico Jack, all around the same price, sort of $4.50, depending where you're shopping. Fortune Teller next in the betting around $5.50, and then basically the whole field hover between $14 and $17. So that's Mr. Maestro, Virtuous Circle, Glint of Silver, Art Zeno, and Japanese Emperor. So a interesting betting race. Don't see that very often. 4 horses between sort of $4.50 and $5.50, and then the rest of the field between $13 and $17. So pretty typical of a race with a lot of runners resuming, I guess. Yeah,
well, look, I might start here. I suppose I'm declaring my interest in Calico Jack here. I think that the horse is firm right up now, and don't know if I'd be necessarily chiming in, but it's my pick in the race. I just think the horses can handle the step up in grade, absolutely flying. And against these who are all resuming, obviously there's question marks around a lot of these 3-year-olds resuming, and that it could easily, produce one of those to beat it. But I think it's the way I'm going anyway. Pericles is second pick for me. Fortune Teller third pick. Don't want to be on either of those, so I'm happy to just be with number 6, Calico Jack.
Get me out of the way, Azza, because I'll be 10 seconds. The default was Calico Jack, hard fit, going to be in the right spot. And to say Pericles is just the horse that hasn't seen a dry track. That whole first prep was a bit of a car crash that they tried to rush him there after showing a lot of promise, and what he can produce here, I don't think anyone really knows. So I'm excited to see him, but not a race I'll be betting you.
Good luck at Tamworth, John.
Yeah, I'm jumping now.
Okay, well, we're definitely not in agreement here because I think Calico Jack's got none. It's been beating goats, and I think it needs a sting out. I'm dead against it here. And because of how short it is in the market, I have to find something, but which is difficult. I think the best horse is Pericles, so I've backed it. I hate that it's only had the two 800-metre trials. I think the one horse down the bottom, Japanese Emperor, is a very smart horse. It has to be seen to be believed to see its first start win, but it's drawn one and it looks like it could map. So I'm backing Pericles, and I won't be losing on the Fortune Teller and Japanese Emperor. I like that Fortune Teller's had 2 trials, the second one 1,000 metres. But I think if Pericles is fit enough, he's got these covered.
Not like
Okay, let's move on to. We're going to do the Blue Diamond prelude for the Colts because we're sort of just treating that in the same boat as the Phillies race, even though one's a Group 3 and one's a Group 2 for whatever reason. So we'll start off here, John, with a market.
Okay, so Barber $3.10, roughly. Brave Heroes $3.50, $6 Gangitano, $8 Little Bros, $10 Amigo, 18. Some people call me 19 Corniche, 20 for Scorsese, 25 to 1 Peerless Lad, 40s Tarabo, 50s Goodies, and $91 for Fire Follower.
Jason, why don't you lead us here?
I think it's a very, very skinny race. Taking on the WA horse. I know the times, blah blah blah, but if it wins, good luck to it. But I'm taking it on. I think there's only 3 winning chances. They're Barber, Little Bros, and Gangitano. Gangitano, obviously my family's horse, so cheering heavily for it. We're very bullish about this horse. It's improved miles. You can see its jump out since its first up run. Sandown's going to suit it down to the ground, so as a step up in trip. Williams very bullish that he can win the Blue Diamond. So I've had a good go at it each way. Barrier 2, don't worry about the pattern of its first start. It can settle a lot closer here. The form out of Barber's race definitely stacks up, so can cop that. And Blue, when they come to Melbourne, are lethal. And Little Bros here beat Gangitano in that race. Its trial was sensational. It's well over the odds. So I think they're the 3 winning chances. I'm heavy each way on Gangitano. Little Bros will be a good winner, but Barber can win.
Yeah, look, I think that obviously the 2 favourites are probably the two deserve the top picks. But I do agree with you, Jason. I think Little Bros is the value play in the race. If you're looking for something, I'm a bit against Gangitano. As I mentioned to you earlier, I've got it marked double figures, and it's some hope, but not for me. The unraced Amigo, of course, we'll have to wait and see what they do with it, betting wise tomorrow. But if I had to pick one now and make a play, it would be Little Bros at the odds. John?
Yeah, I didn't like the race at all, to be fair. Didn't spend a lot of time on it. Just didn't think it was a grand final for any of these horses, and didn't really see a lot of upside in many of them busting their way to get like the horse up the top. Probably Gangitano and Little Bros have got a little bit more work to do to get into big fields potentially. But yeah, I just didn't even. I think Gangitano is the horse that I'm interested in going forward, but not on Saturday.
All right, let's move on to the Phillies race 4.
The Group 2, as opposed to the Group 3.
Looks pretty clear cut here, doesn't it?
It does. Let's see if we're both clear cut. Charmstone, $2.25. Cigar Flick, $7. $9. Shadow Fear, $9.50 for Dasonic Boom. $13 for Party for Two. Suzuko, $14. $16 Exploring. $17 Sensical. $21 for Beauty Rising. $26 Dream Woman. $26 Soju. $31 Chill the Krug. $34 Extreme Threat. $101 the last two. Atlantic Spirit and Sub Rising.
I suppose no secret here with the publicity around Charmstone. Looks the winner to me. I don't necessarily think I'll be betting, but it does look a clear pick, top pick. I thought Dasonic Boom was probably the second pick over and above Cigar Flick. I've got it on top of it clearly, so probably won't play in the race, but does look hard to beat the one if it's as good as they think it is.
So why do you think it looks so clear cut? In all honesty, like figures, the jump out, what's
I think this horse will make the age improvement, whereas some of these may not. And I think that this has been a target all along, and there's a whole range of factors to do with the stable and so forth. But I just don't think there's a lot of depth here. It's a very shallow race. I don't think Cigar Flick should be anywhere in the market. I don't understand why it's 6-1. I've got it marked long odds, so I think that's a weakness in favour of the favourite there, and the Sonic Boom I think is over the odds. So look, I mean, these 2-year-old races have never been my absolute preferred play, but to me it's the one to beat. I wouldn't want to back him to beat it, put it that way.
Yeah, cool. Well, I hope you're right, because I took $3.50 during the week, and I'm on at $61 and $16 the place in the Blue Diamond. So I'd love this thing to run a drum in the Blue Diamond. That jump out, everyone's crapping on about it, but it beat unnamed horses. I think that could be legless. So I just think there's a bit of a risk in getting carried away with it. I think it is a top pick, and as I said, I have backed it, but I think everyone's getting a little bit carried away about how good this horse is off 2,000 metre starts. Dasonic Boom, it's Friedman. Everyone's underestimating it. They're going to put blinkers on this for the grand final in the Blue Diamond. It's right in this. I agree. I think Cigar Flick doesn't. I don't think it ran out the trip last start. I think it's weak. And the one I'm pretty keen to back is Beauty Rising, number 13 at about 20-1. Loved its first up run off its feet, came home well behind Croatian Bell, had a really nice jump out in between where it smacked Amigo, who's well backed in the Colts. I think it's a value runner.
Here we go.
You got an opinion?
I think Cigar Flick's unbeatable. Tell you why. Because I think its first start sat outside the leader, ridden upside down. Whether they backed off it way too much or whatever they did last start, it looked the winner at the 150 the other day. And I agree, there's a line you could say it didn't run the trip, but it also ran it out really strongly, sitting, I know it was only a maiden, sitting outside the leader on, publicised heavy, but probably not that heavy on debut. So it doesn't make sense the horse didn't run the trip out. I think it just completely knocked up. I think they've just tried to look after it, thinking, Golden Slippers, Blue Diamond. So that's my line of thought. That's why I think the horse can improve significantly. I don't know the track well enough to say you can sit wide and win here, but I do think if it sits 3 wide with cover, it'll look the winner. Just a matter of whether I'm right or probably Jason's right that it's not a strong horse, because I think it's a really special horse, and I've just got a feeling they just backed off it too much last start, and it can improve lengths here. And I'd take even money learning to fly in this race all day, every day. So,
so you're backing it, John?
Yeah. I've got a favourite. So,
okay.
And clearly, so
do you want 10,000 to 1,500? There you go. Roll it aboard and
10,000 to 1,500. No, I've already got better than that. I've already got $21, and I'm happy to keep betting if everyone's in your book and it gets out sort of double figures again tomorrow. I'll keep betting.
You got $21 for this weekend?
Yep.
in the early
Start of the
markets.
Just at the start of the week, yeah.
Astute, well done. And I just got done at Colac by an $86 chance. You fucking arsehole.
We've not. It's been expensive this show so far between Tamworth and Colac. We're under the
Been
pump.
expensive because I backed your Tamworth thing as well. So I'm getting fucking costing me plenty. All right, let's keep going.
And down. Race 6. This is the Rubiton Stakes.
Fucking hell, that's fucking
Okay.
pissing me off. I hate getting beat by roughies.
Rubiton Stakes, Uncommon James, $3.30.
Hate losing a roughies.
420.
Hate losing
Chain
a
of Lightning, $8.50 Generation, $9 Lofty Strike, $10 Marine One, $12 Rocketing By, $12 Triple Missile, $13 Argentia, $15 Kemmel Passer, Oxley Road, $26.41 Semyon, and Mainstream are $151. I hope it knocks Azar off just to see his head blow off.
Jason, what do you think here?
He's in a coma.
I'll start. Spent a lot of time on this race. Hey? Spent a lot of time on this race. Kemmel Passer digs up from 1, Semyon 3, and then I just can't see a scenario where Uncommon James doesn't get the absolute run of the race here. I took 320 during the week. I'm surprised it's drifted. I've had a really big go at Charms Night, one multi that I take a week. I think it's clear my pick is my best bet of the day. He Strike's a very smart horse. Ran really well in the Coolmore. Interesting that they take on the older horses here. And the other one is Marine One. It's off a 12-month break. It's got to give weight to everything else, but it has jumped out really well. But I'm gonna take it on that it's going to get the run of the race. Chain of Lighting's a good horse, but don't like the map, and just wondering where the targets are for this horse. I think it's probably not first up. So I think Uncommon James is going to be ready here. These two guys, when they set a horse up, and they've been setting it for this race for quite a while in the lead up to a Newmarket. So I'm pretty keen.
John?
Yeah, no, another race I didn't really love the look of, other than I didn't really love the trial of Uncommon James. And I thought, obviously they know that he's a better class horse, but his first up sort of figures and runs have not been his best. He sort of improved through his preparation. Whether they've got him more wound up this time or not, ready for this class, is probably the key. But I still thought it was really short. Train of Lightning sort of defaults to a nice position, and Lofty Strike's a horse that I absolutely love as a horse potentially. So Lofty Strike and Chain of Lightning were the two I thought to beat, but it's just not a deep race. It's going to be more about who's ready. It's probably a yard watcher's race for mine.
Yeah, look, I'm not betting in the race, but I agree with you, Jason. Look, Lofty Strike is one that would appeal to me, I think, if I was betting. Generation's another. Could face a tricky trip for Generation from that gate. Look, there's obviously five chances or 5 genuine chances in the race, and the market sort of suggests that, so nothing too unique there. But look, I suppose once again, if I was forced to have something now, it'd be 12 and maybe 3, but don't want to play.
Yuck race.
Right, let's get into an actual betting race for me. Race 7, the All. John, what's the market?
Interesting. This is another polarising race. Jacquinot favourite, $3.10, roughly $4.20 for I'm Thunderstruck, $5 Gentleman Roy, $6 Tavalu, $9.50 Nugget, $11 Mr. Brightside, $20 for Churath, Aegon 26, $31 for Iron Mab, and Western Empire 34.
Sorry, what was that, Jason?
Oh, he's gone missing. Get me out of the way while he's gone missing. I'm sure he'll pop back up at some point. He hasn't left. He's just gone missing. So my opinion is here, I don't really like the race. And, hang on, he's disappeared there and he's popped up here. There he is.
All right, boys.
You're right. I don't really like the race because the horses you want to find are not going to really be in the positions you want to find them. I thought like the first up classy horses are going to find tough positions. Jacquinot possibly back and inside. I'm Thunderstruck and Mr. Brightside out the back. So I thought Mr. Brightside was the one that was most likely to sort of get a 3-wide card up if that's, which does look likely. You'd expect the sort of better horses to want to get on their bike a little bit earlier here than normal, just because of where they're going to be in the run. And I think Mr. Brightside could be the beneficiary of that, sort of just dropping back, looking for a trail, tracking up and nice and strong. And I thought sort of each way 10-1 was a big price, Mr. Brightside, in a race that I didn't really think made a lot of sense on paper.
Jason, what do you have to say?
You haven't gone yet, have you?
No.
Good. Okay. So anyone who knows me knows that I think Thunderstruck's the second coming of Superimpose. I absolutely love him. And I think he can, if they just keep him to miles, he can be the best miler in Australia. And I hope they even have a crack at a handicap at some stage. When I first looked at this, I was pretty keen on him. He's going to be mapped last here. But I found an each-way moral here, and I know how much Paul loves saying the word moral. And that's Tuvalu. Gets the perfect map here. Gentleman Roy's going to cross him from 3, Tuvalu from 1. He won't have to expend any energy. It's just going to be his bunny the whole way. There's no other speed. Gentleman Roy, when Zara went on last start, first up, it wasn't this breakneck stupidity that he was doing in the spring. He's just going to be a bit more settled, which means Tuvalu's just going to get a beautiful sit on him. He's going to pop around him and just go whack and kick clear. Each way, just absolutely unload on this horse. You can get like $657. His form, like Rupert Clark, third, wins a Toorak and runs second in a Cantala, the hottest Cantala. He's proving himself at weight for age now after that handicap stuff. It's a really similar profile to I'm Thunderstruck the spring before. Rupert Clark then won the Toorak, then won the Golden Eagle. This horse is good. And Uncle Lindsay is flying. His vet is on fire. This horse blinkers on first time. Get on. Don't bet till it hurts. Just keep punting.
Well, I backed it already. It's
vet is on fire. This is why I'm missing.
Damn, I thought you were going to tell me it had none.
No. I've got it as one of 2 bets in the race. I'm against Jacquinot. I think Jacquinot is under the odds, and so I'm sort of taking it on by betting around it and having decent bets. Look, Tuvalu, I'm always a little bit wary of backing horses first up. With the blinkers first time here, didn't wear them in that trial where they ran very fast time. It does suggest that it's going to be right up on the speed and get that trail behind Gentleman Roy, and that ideally will suit it. I'll be having a decent result if it wins. No more $7, Jason. And the other in the race that I'm interested in is Gentleman Roy, who will set the tempo, I think. And they did go very, very fast last time out here. And look, the horse just showed a lot of strength late. And I know it's a step up, listed grade up to a Group 1 at weight for age, and that's probably against it, and maybe that's why it is the price it is. But I think it should be shorter, and I'll be having a good result if either of those 2 horses win, Tuvalu and Gentleman Roy, and happy to really bet around Jacquinot. And look, I'm Thunderstruck is one that I'm, I suppose, worried about. But outside that, no, I'm very comfortable with my horses here in the race.
Best.
Sorry?
Is that it?
What are your best bets? That's it, is it? That's it, isn't it? That's what are you?
Tuvalu each way. Tuvalu each way. Uncommon James. They're my best 2.
Well, I'm going to say a bracket of Tuvalu and Gentleman Roy of the races that we've covered anyway. There's a number of others that I think in Melbourne are worth playing as well, races that are worth playing into.
Paul's not even, he's going to have TBN on the way. What is it? Racing.com. He's not even going to have the old 528 up all day. I'm going Cigar Flick just because you 2 hate it and I just want to be on the other foot, but I do think it'll run very well. And if Sunshine in Paris wins in Sydney, I'll be a very happy red-headed stepchild.
Okay, there you have it, punters. That's our thoughts on tomorrow's group action there in Sydney and Melbourne, and hopefully we can get you a winner or two to kick things off, and we'll continue to do the show as long as people want us, and we'll go from there.
We're trying to get a sponsor from Grand Pianos Australia, but as it still hasn't closed the deal yet, so you never know.
We'll get a sponsor. Don't worry about that. We need a sponsor.
Mate, you might want to try.
I'll get you tattooed. I'll get you tattooed on my head. I'll get you tattooed on my head. Maybe we can get an audio visual company to sponsor us.
If someone can get you an internet connection, that'd be
we'll get any sponsor. We'll get PD to walk along the Coffs Harbour Beach in a mankini and get their stickers tattooed on his ass. The brand.
Well, you could have the sticker on the back for a few weeks, and then you could just have it tanned in natural. That'd be like the natural tattoo. Yeah.
Oh, what a shit show that was. I get rolled by an $80 chance on my one bet for the day. Hopefully tomorrow's a better day, punters. There's always tomorrow. Just keep punting.
What'd you back the one at Tamworth, did you?
I backed that too, but the one at Colac, the one I asked you about that you said was $1.50 chance. I got $2. It jumped to $1.50 and fucking got rolled.
Good luck. Goodbye.
See ya.
See you, fellas. Bye.
Oh, that's the question of the week. The outro. That's it. That doesn't work. I don't know what's working. I'll fix one for next week. Good luck, guys.